Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barnhart. It is so nice to see you. Welcome to my home. So it's December 17th, which means that this whole COVID-19 event has been taking place for about a year now. And I figured I'd make a short video talking about my experiences and my thoughts about this whole event and maybe give you a better idea of what's going on. So about a year ago, this virus came into existence in the city of Wuhan in China. Something about somebody eating a bat, or it was created in one of those biological labs. I don't know. Anyhow, I guess a lot of people were dying in Wuhan, so they locked down the whole city, hoping to contain this problem, COVID-19, and they didn't. It got out. It got out of Wuhan pretty fast, I guess. I went around the world. A lot of governments reacted in pretty much the same way. I guess in March they all started locking down. They all started locking down, telling people that this was all about preventing the spreading. We had to stop the spreading of COVID-19. We had to stop people getting sick because it was filling up the hospitals, and there was all these videos. I remember talking to my grandmother through the window. That was a weird thing. It's election year. There was all these riots and protesting and. Anyhow, fast forward through the summer and through fall. Now we're in winter, and there's a lot more rules to society than there was at this time in 2019. And I'm generally not a guy that really likes rules. Like, I don't know, like I find when I'm told what to do, I don't want to do it. I don't know, maybe that's childish. At the same time, like if it makes sense, then I'll do it. And that's one thing, like there's a lot of these new rules are kind of tricky, and it's kind of like really, I don't know, guys. Probably the most famous of these new rules is that you have to wear a face mask pretty much anytime you're out of the house now. If you're going to work, if you're going to the store, if you're going to visit family, anywhere where you're not around the people you don't live with, you gotta wear one of these. And a lot of people really don't want to wear these. I mean, it doesn't suit their style, or they just don't want to. And then the government's like, hey, you gotta do it or you're gonna die. And then the people that believe the government are like, you're gonna kill people, you're killing people. And it's like, holy crap, what a mess. What a mess, just because of a mask. We're so divided just because of this. Now, one of the things we're told is that we don't want to touch our face a lot because that's how we get germs into our body. But I find that when I wear a face mask, I touch my face a lot more. Because when my jaw is moving, or it's falling down, so I have to constantly readjust it. And then the mask is supposed to shield me from catching COVID-19. But does that mean that the COVID-19 is on my mask now, like on the outside? Does that mean that it's all over my clothes? So when I come home, should I take off all my clothes? Or what about when I get in the car? Should I leave my mask on in the car? Because if I take off my mask in the car, then my car is going to be full of COVID-19 because my clothes is full of COVID-19, and like, oh my god. And then there's all the social distancing stickers on the ground, like telling us where to go, and you gotta stand there, and you gotta stand on this little spot here, and that's where you'll be safe, you know what I mean? And then you have restaurants. Some restaurants are so bizarre now, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna look up how many people have died from COVID-19 this year. So it says here that just over 1,600,000 people died of COVID-19 in a year. Now, just to compare, we're gonna look up how many people died of world hunger this year. Every year, around 9 million people die of hunger. See, just these numbers alone, to me, it's enough to scratch your head. Like, why is coronavirus so, like, I don't understand.
Masks block a lot of the virus from getting in. So if by wearing a mask, you're more likely to get a less severe case, have a mild illness, not even have symptoms at all.
The hypothesis, masking leads to fewer deaths and more asymptomatic cases. But there's still lots of confusion out there.
Damn right there's confusion. Like, so wait, if you wear a thinner mask, you might still get infected, but it won't be as severe. Like, wait, like, I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But then again, she's on TV. Anyhow, when the generations of the future look back at us, I think they're gonna think two things. First and foremost, we're a bunch of lost idiots with way too much time on our hands. Second, I think they're gonna study just how much we were manipulated, because there's definitely something tricky going on. Come on, I don't know what it is, but there's definitely more to this picture than meets the eye. I don't know what it is, but my spidey senses are definitely tingling right now. Anyhow, maybe that's a silly way of putting it, but who knows? Keep an open mind. Do what you're told. Always listen to the government. These social distancing rules are nothing new. Like, I remember back in February, there was this really bad cold going around. Everybody at work, all my friends, my family, and people I talked to, they had this really bad cold back in February and whatnot. And it knocked me right out. And I remember somebody knocked at my door and I was like, sorry, it's not a really good time to visit right now. I'm really sick. I remember calling my grandmother and being like, hey, I can't visit you this week. I'm really sick. Anyhow, man, that was a bad cold. My mom is sending letters to everybody. There's honestly so much I wanted to talk in this video, but this whole event is so big and I know you're busy and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I thank you if you made it this far in the video. I really appreciate you watching. Goodness gracious, check this out. Friggin' book over here. 8 things I love about you. 1. Love the way you challenge me and piss me off. Love that you make me watch documentaries that put me to sleep. Love that you eat my slice of pizza when I say you go ahead, I'm full, but really I'm not.